using one microphone. So on the commentary box, I've been joined by a pretty interesting character here. Kudachiwanza. Can you say ex-Cheetahs player?
You can't say Cheetahs player. Still there.
Still there. But it's good to see you, and your team is really performing well. You guys, obviously, last weekend you had a little bit of a setback, but you managed to come back and beat the same opponent convincingly.
Yeah, it was an interesting week last week. Started off slow, exactly like today. Started off slow, but now we're building slowly but surely. We will hopefully make it into the finals.
Well, we are already there, man. Come on, you beat the team that really gave you a hard time last weekend, and you come back strong. I mean, what are some of the things that you spoke about as a team during the course of the week?
Just moving the ball and being able to be deeper, and being with patience and time, we could beat any team. So just those key elements. When it's our time to play, let's starve everyone from the ball and just enjoy. You can't play sevens without a ball.
Definitely, if you don't have possession, it's difficult for you to play these ball games. But one strategy that I've noticed from your technical team is that you dominate those restart kicks. It's whether the team is kicking to you or you're kicking to them, you always dominate. What's the secret behind that?
Just knowing when to take the ball. So our kickers have done so well with the start of kicks because they're all contestable kicks. And then also when we are receiving, we've got our boosters who are there, who are capable at catching the ball in the air. So we're just working on both of that, the boosters and also our chasers when we kick.
And obviously you played with Jacques Letao a couple of years back, but now he's now your head coach. I mean, what's that like?
No, obviously there's a great respect for Jacques because he's a national treasure and he's played the game for a very long time, and there's so much that we can learn from him. And yeah, he's such a good coach and also a player.
Magnificent player. And obviously coming back to this game that we've just playing, Harare Sports Club, one of your, if not your old rivalry as a club, as old Georgians. Last week you managed to beat them. And going into this tournament, what are some of the areas that you've just noticed as a team that are great areas for you guys against Harare Sports Club?
Against Harare Sports Club, right now we haven't really watched the games as much because we're taking it one game at a time. But sooner or later we'll be watching them. I know they've got some great ball carriers and great runners, so we need to be aware of that and to be able to take the game when we play them.
All right, and just coming back to the game, we're just witnessing a cross kick from old Crestonians, and the foot race is on. Who's going to get to the ball first? And unfortunately, the bounce is awkward, and old Crestonians just winning that ball there, and obviously the breakdown coming in, and it's a long arm penalty to all the old Crestonians, team from Harare. Have you played against these youngsters?
Yeah, we played them last week. Very, very competitive, and I think they're top in Mutari, so very good team. I guess they're trying to get used to the sevens, moving the ball a lot. They got some big boys, so they mainly most utilize the big boys instead of moving the ball.
As we just witnessed, Teddy Water, boxer there, racing all the way. Unfortunately, the handbrake is on. Oh. And where is the support? Unfortunately, he stepped on the line, so it's going to be an old Crestonians line out. But look, obviously you've got now let's talk about the national team, sevens, and I'm hoping to see you there. We've got a big tournament coming up. You played in Las Vegas at the World Cup. What is going to be our strength? Going to the World Cup qualifiers. Now we are talking at national team level. What's going to be our strength? We don't have the biggest guys. We don't have, in terms of pace, we do have decent pace, but we can't say we have the fastest players on the continent. What's going to be our strength going to the World Cup qualifiers?
So moving the ball a lot. So we're working, if you look at South Africa, we got the same size. Average,
certainly.
So we are looking at more moving the ball faster and being more explosive and mindful of which direction and where to play. So the national team structure at the moment is brilliant because we got the HPC, and guys are training twice a week on Monday, and then Wednesday we're training from 2 until like 7. So we're putting a lot of effort into our goals and know where we want to be for those big 2 tournaments next year.
So if we finish in the final, we'll qualify automatically.
So if we finish in the final, we qualify automatically. But then also, we're just looking at, because South Africa would already qualify if they come top 4. That means there'll be 2 more teams that need to get in. So we have to try and finish top 2 or top 3, just there. But yeah.
You mentioned a team that is currently number 1 on the HSBC rankings, that is South Africa. You know, they've been dominating. They don't have the biggest squads. They don't have the, compared to Fiji, England, even the US. And we've just witnessed the Harare Sports Club. They've just scored a try against the old Crestonians with the convention to go. But coming back to the discussion that I'm having here with Kudachiwanza, a seasoned sevens player, and also, of course, has played with the Cheetahs, has been with the Sables. Coming back to South Africa currently ranked number 1, and obviously just yesterday narrowly winning against Japan. But they won the Vancouver tournament, they've won the Toronto tournament, and the conversion is successful. That takes Harare Sports Club to 7 points up against old Crestonians. What do you think what is really working for the Blitzboks?
This just they're always together. They're working together. They move the ball faster. Their communication is strong. I've played against Blitzbokker so many times. You outnumbered. It seems like they're playing with 12 players, but it's actually 7 on the field. But then their work rate is amazing. Everything that they do, they're all in sync. So they've been working so much, moving that ball. They're not the biggest teams, but they move the ball at the right time, and they've got some nippy people. So everything works out in sync at the end of the day for them.
Okay, and coming back to Kenya, they've been competitive. Remember, the African brothers in the HSBC Sevens. At some point, they played against South Africa in the Sevens final at a big tournament. What's really working for Kenyan right now?
I guess with the new structure and the new players in their team, they've combined youth and the older guys. So that gelling that they have at the moment is amazing, because they've combined everything together, physicality, and the younger guys aren't as big, but they are faster and moving the ball fast. They play more of a physical game. So if you look at most of them, the ball is up in the front.
So, Kuda, on that note, we just have to cut you short, but we'll come back and continue with this discussion. If we just witnessed the Harare Sports Club currently leading all the Crestonians, and we're just going to go for some oranges. So join us as we continue with the second half.
Yeah.
So the players are now making their way onto the field of play. And remember, our Sports Club, they are currently leading by 7 points to nil against a team from Harare by the name Old Crestonians. And as we see Teddy Wada kicking that ball very, very high. And it's good, and it looks like Harare Sports Club, they are in control of this game, although they have that narrow lead, but they are going through the structures. They're passing that ball wide, and as we just and the foot race is on. Yeah, oh dear, it's going to be it's going to be a scrum on the 5 meter. It's going to be rather a 22 dropout. And I was just chatting to Kuda Chiwanza, just talking rugby here at Sports Extra. Now, Kuda, we're talking about Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya, their new squad is very, very good. They're gelling well also, physicality and also the pace. So it's something they're also a team to watch out for in the World Series and also in the African Cup when it's next year. So just looking at them, I think they will upset some of the teams at the moment also in this Dubai Sevens. So yeah.
Okay, coming back to you as a player, you were in South Africa and you played a bit of rugby there before you come back. Could you tell us more about the club that you're playing for and the league that you guys were playing in?
So I was playing for Wanderers. That's in Johannesburg, one of the top clubs in South Africa. So we qualified for Gold Cup, but unfortunately because of COVID, that didn't happen. But then, such a good team, just like old Georgians, um, and a lot of Lions players in there. So we played against some teams like UJ, Wits, um, and all the big teams in Johannesburg, and giving most players, some of the players that would get picked for the Lions would be coming from Wanderers or from UJ or Wits.
Wow, so it's really quite a big club, and obviously you are a player that have been you've been playing rugby. I remember you playing for Falcon back in the days, playing for Zimbabwe Craven Week, under 18, playing for Zimbabwe under 20. I mean, you've played pretty much all formats of rugby that are available in Zimbabwe, and you've came into through the junior ranks. What's next for Kuda Chiwanza now?
Yeah, well, just taking it a day at a time. Right now, just focus on the sevens aspect of it, and then once if I get the nod, if I don't get the nod, then
You get the note. Come on, you're experienced. You've played rugby, and look, look. There's no other reason why they can pick you. But anyway, I'm not the coach, but I'm just saying.
yeah. So it's just tricky. Also want to try and bring in cognitive behavior therapy, something that I studied while I was in South Africa, to bring it into the athletes here in Zim, because some performance based isn't always physical, or some people might just be lacking the mental strength,
Certainly, yeah.
so that's something that I would want to concentrate on and bring into Zim. So a lot of big teams have a cognitive behavior therapy practitioner in their squads, working with the players in South Africa, overseas. So it's something that I'm looking at getting here.
Okay, could you tell us more about that program? Gosh, it's a bit of a tongue twister, so I won't say the name so that I don't embarrass myself. Could you tell us more and what it does to the players if we have someone who has those qualifications in a team setup?
So we're looking at performance based. Some people might get injured, and it will take them long.
Oh, sorry, and our sports club just scored a try there that takes them to 12 points to nil against old Crestonians from Harare. Anyway, I'm still talking to Kuda Chiwanza here on Sports Extra. Remember, you're watching Sables Sevens Rugby at Old Georgians. So Kuda has been telling me about the program that he's been doing in South Africa. And Kuda, please proceed.
So some players, it's not always about they just lose confidence after an injury or something. So that's where we come in and we talk about why, the reasons, finding out what's going on in their mind, and then trying to help them to grow that confidence again, because a lot of people get injured. So it's coming back from an injury. I know I've experienced an injury that took me out for a year, and for me coming back, that was taxing, and I didn't know if I wanted to come back. But it's just those little elements that we can look at how someone can someone can perform better when we then go into their minds and work with their mind.
So Harare Sports Club just score another try that takes them to 22 points with a conversion to go. So it's going to be interesting. It's a runaway score here at Old Georgians. Harare Sports Club, they just started on a little bit slow or not, but now they're beginning to pick up the pace, and that takes them to 24 points to nil. So I'm still chatting to Kudachiwanza, who's educating us about how the importance of having someone in the team setup just to talk someone through our rehabilitation.
Yeah, it's a key element in sports at the moment. A lot of the big teams have these guys always working with their players for performance based, and just not only just performance based, but then just also little things that are happening. Even it could be through at home or at work, because as Zim athletes, we're not really professional, so some guys are going to work and then coming to training.
So our Sports Club, they've just scored a try there to take them to 29 points to nil against Old Crestonians, and with a conversion to go. And Kuda is really doing a great job educating us how it is important for someone to have someone who can really, talk the player through rehabilitation, whether it's mental or it's physical. So Kuda, it's really something that is new in Zimbabwe and Seven Up, because I don't remember us having someone, studying that. So what inspired you to do that program down south?
Oh well, I was just talking to a friend of mine about it, because at one stage I was injured. So when I got injured, my mental health wasn't as best. I think I felt like I was throwing away my life just by doing things that weren't what I was made for, and my goals. But just always giving back and just learning something new from Zim Rugby, knowing that there's no one. Someone could have helped me when I was also injured.
Okay, on that note, Kudzai Mashawi, it looks like he's going to score right under the post to take the points to 36, rather 37 with the conversion to go. It's a runaway score here at Old Georgian Sports Club, Kudzai Mashawi. You played with him. I remember you guys at some point you played, and he was also captain in Kenya when Zimbabwe toured there with the developmental squad.
Yeah, Mashawe is one of my close friends. We played Sables together. We've also played the academy together, and we played sevens together. Also been to a couple of tours, Cape Town and Dubai. So good player and such a good step to finish off the game. But yeah, what a good win.